Hello one, hello all. Hambbage here. Let's play some hardcore vanilla Minecraft. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are excellent. I know I am and can't wait to get back to what should be a very exciting episode. That's right. When we left off at the end of the last episode, we were just on the brink of doing our very first enchanting in this Vanilla Brewed Coffee world, and that is always a monumental event in a Minecraft world. We go from getting by with what's handed to us to taking a little bit of control of the world and imposing our will. You know what? I was in such a hurry to get started. Again? Wait, is that a trader or is that more pillagers? How have we had so many pillagers? I guess every world's got its deal. Can I get an allowance to go take care of these? Because who wants to listen to that while we're trying to do exciting? Hey, where'd you come from? Is he in my flower pots? How's that work? Okay, that worked out pretty well. Get out of my flowers. Get out of my little pit of death. Now you're shooting my flowers? You rude. Oh, does that mean they're in my little boat alley? Slip, I guess, would be the more appropriate term. All of you boat aficionados out there. Now, I heard one more mawing, so let's... There you are. Whoa, boy! What was that? See that range distance, though? That's right. So, I promised an exciting edition. We got it here. Creepers dropping on our heads. Alright, let's get our little spot of milk here. And while we're at it, because I think we've already laid out a few... See why it went so slow there? We've already laid out a couple of kind of goals, I guess, for this episode, or the way that we anticipate that going. I think I'll leave that. Wow. It's called full service. You just don't even stop drinking. You just get another full load. That's out of the way. I know. Totally unnecessary. But that's just kind of how it goes. One thing leads to another. All because I wanted to put some stone slabs and a couple stone blocks away. Alright, everybody get some? We good here? Okay, you guys take care. Because in all honesty, I did not want to be spending my time doing any of this kind of stuff today. Alright, let's eat a piece of fish here while we're going. And then let's get to enchanting. I think we're set, right? Load up with those. No, we're not set yet. Because we've got to take... Ow. Right in the forehead. Ow. Okay. Load up those. We can get Prot 4. Already pretty good. Not a bad start. So I assume that will... That was slow. It won't carry over to everything. So by far out of everything there, the helmet with a Prot 4 would be pretty darn good. But we don't want to satisfy ourselves with just those. A Silk Touch pick, not as ideal as a Silk Touch. Oh, that can't go. We had to test on this. And then the bow. What is the bow? Unbreaking 3. All right, not exciting. So of all these, the Prot 4 helmet or Silk Touch, because the axe should carry the same thing. So we can get the Silk Touch axe right out of the gate and be doing melons and bees from the very start. That's pretty appealing to me. And of course, it rotates us through and gets us a better chance, maybe, of a Fortune 3 down the road. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm always a fan of getting the tools set up and working from there. We are so jammed up with stuff. Don't need that. Oh, I didn't look at the books either. I should check one of those. Speaking of that, now did I lose those sticks? Didn't I just grab sticks? Where are sticks? How? I know I'm blind, but I don't know where. Okay, let's make one of these. Take it up with us so we can build any tools that we need up there. All right, so first things first. Don't miss a potential. Whew! That should be huge. Power 4 in a book is as good as like a sharpness, because you can't get that in a single enchant. You have to add that to another power 4 in a bow to get the full effect. But I still don't think it beats out where we want to be with that axe. So we're gonna do it. Axe, Silk Touch, and Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. Pretty good. And you knew early on like that you're going to get a lot of good. That was another reason why I didn't want to go to the book. I didn't want to really harp on it or make it act like I was trying to cop my way out of things. But when you have up at level 50 type enchants, you're very likely going to get 2 more categories. So nothing too exciting in the armor. Efficiency 4, nice, but we really want to hold for that fortune if we can. Unbreaking on the bow is extremely lame. And none of those. Geek. Let's check the book. Save us book. And of course now we get nothing. Nothing too crazy there. I guess we will roll, and if needed, reset this. Maybe we get lucky. Three. Fire prot. And prot 3 there. What haven't we checked yet? The sword. Sharp 3. Not all. Have we checked this yet? Flame. Ugh. Ugh. We already checked the book? Blast prot. $14 diamonds. Or, you know what? Let's just do the cheap book, not waste as many levels yet. I was about to make the whole pick and then do efficiency 4 and combine that, make an efficiency 5 unbreaking 3, but we'll just chew it up. And without fortune or anything, I don't think we're quite there. So unbreaking, fire aspect, blast prot, unbreaking, unbreaking. Had a lot of the others low. Alright, that. Unbreaking 3, power 4. Not too bad. Fortune 3. Yes, please. So we kind of get paid off by holding out. Oh, oh yeah, I'm still making it. I'm like, why didn't I get any bonus enchantments? You have to actually enchant it. Efficiency 4, fortune 3, and now do I really care about the unbreaking is good for the fort. Yeah, we might as well. It'll just be a roundabout way, and while that would be nice if we then just got a plain silk touch to throw things onto, yeah, let's not rush it. There's no need to do it too fast, right? We're at 38. We've still got a couple more tries here. Let's check our next pick. Don't need a second fortune 3 pick. I'd rather get that out of a book. That's very nice. And that means I can get the shirt. Those are both good bonuses, but with the way everything's coming up, that's what I was wondering. Can we get something that would really, really help? And sharp 4 on a sword. Oh! Now, the only thing out of this I'm really not a super big fan of, but we'll still live with it for sure, is the knockback 2. That just gets a little bit trolly. I'd rather hit him a couple times than chase him around, especially if it's like a skeleton or something that's shooting at me. But yeah, that's gonna do a lot of damage and also get us more drops. So for things like Enderman, very happy. Okay, we are now at 35 levels, so we're getting down close to our floor. Let's just check. An unbreaking 3 could be a nice add to one or the other of those. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Now we already did that. Those two can go together when we get down into low numbers. What do we have? What was this? Oh, that was fortune. We didn't care about that at all. The sword was the unbreaking, or we had the prot. No, we already did that. That was the don't know that I want to go just on an aqua affinity on a top level helmet. I'd rather hold out for the better protections because an aqua affinity book is a 1 level enchant, right? Getting prot 4 first and then adding that on is a cheaper process. It's a little nitpicky. Prot 3, not bad. You can save a otherwise good piece of armor, but just taking it on spec is a little bit of a reach. Tell you what was this one again? This was the unbreaking. If I do another sword and put unbreaking on it, which that's kind of my lean right now. It does mean I can no longer go shirt if I get the prot 4. That can only then go to the pants. But that again, not the end of the world, right? That's just a way of dealing with it. So yeah, let's take the unbreaking. Because we don't have that on what's otherwise a pretty good start to a sword. So we do that, and that's all it is, but that's okay. That's all we need. We can add that in. We're still just looking for 1 level of sharpness and a sweeping edge 3. And then mending eventually that we'll put on, but that's it's a pretty good start. All right, now the other thing I wanted to do was grab spare bow. Let's put, we're very tight on space here. Let's put you away. Let's put you away. Let's put you away. Just to get some wiggle room here. Alright. Now, punch one. Nah. I just wanted to have that extra look. Nothing special. Nah. Nah. Efficiency 4 on a pick. I'm still hoping at that point for Silk Touch on a book, which is tougher to get. Unless we get something rolled in there. It's getting to be a much lower chance down closer to level 30. Do we look at the book yet? Speaking of books. Now we really go low on our picks. It's wild. The one time and that's whatever the numbers generated are that kick into generating the enchantments. The way they work is when you have something good. Wasn't that just an efficiency? How does that work? Has that always been a thing? Am I crazy? I have never noticed that before. The material in a tool changes the level of enchantment. Uh, I don't know. How do we explain that? Has that always been a thing? Guys, feel free to comment. You know I'm going to be looking too to see, but what on earth? Is that a new change? I mean, clearly I'm not doing it. Go scrub the trash book back. That was... Prod 3. Breaking 3. Ooh. Yeah, I think I want that. So before we do that, though... Oh, is that going to cost me too many levels? Oh, wait, can I just do this the dumb way without any levels? Ha 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 ha! Take that shiny new... Now if it like changes, Respiration 2. Just Respiration 3, but hey, for wreck diving, that's great. And we're no worse off for it. Okay, so now we have equipped ourselves. We did not take that Silk Touch. So up here, let's leave all these. Here, we want our looting sword and our unbreaking sword. So 6 that way. 28. Yeah, we'll go this way. Go. Got our new all-purpose sword. Our custom smite sword we will put away into safekeeping. Don't want to monkey around with that. Can use that as needed, and certainly that will have special purposes. But for right now, we want to go... Trot a level. Let's do this again, though. In fact, let's do a... Wait, first of all, before we do anything, let's not get too crazy because I have no idea. 24 minutes so far. All right. Feed first, empty. Now, I'm still a little hesitant on the watermelon. I'd love to just come out here and, oh, hey, watermelon, let's start harvesting and gathering up crops. And to some extent, yes. But until we're kind of set with our villagers, because I don't have mending on it, I'm not in a huge rush. It's kind of one of those wait till you see the whites of their eyes types things, right? When we have a villager that's offering us mending, then we'll go hit melons. You know, we've kind of got to get farmers and everybody set up there anyway. So for a while, we haven't even picked out a spot yet. So just a lot of stuff to do, and you hate to realize that your Silk Touch diamond pick is down to its last legs. I say that kind of mockingly, right? They don't get worn down that quickly, but kind of one where, at least at the moment, we don't have a whole lot of need, so we may still hold off. What we do need a lot of is wheat for these cows, because I would very much like to duplicate our enchanting setup that we have right now back at the Zombie Skelly farm. That is going to be the most efficient place that we have to do it, because we can just restock levels and roll books or however we want to do it. But I want to have one at the house too. That's just good to have on hand. It'll probably mean we never have the two things we need at the same time at any one location, but oh well. Since when is that a new thing? And I'm excited. Our sword is just awesome. And we have a Fortune 3 pick. And for our future diamond, now we just got to go find some diamonds. So that's what's coming. We go down and try to gear back up our levels just a bit, see how long that takes us, and then mine our way back to the basement is my thought. So just a little bit of a sidetrack here, but we need the wheat. We're getting a little low, and our cows we're looking a little anxious. They get their next meal in. There we go. Cows, rest aside. You will make it through the days with very full bellies. And certainly when we get to the point of chickens, do them as well. But again, we've done a lot of farming stuff recently. So let's go do mob farming. Alright. Bucket of water in here for the time being. Bed, we'll actually hang on to. Fortune pick we'll hang on to, because if we can use it, we can. Oh, we forgot to do that little merger. Because until we get to infinity or whatever, why not? 15 that way. 19. Ooh. And that's a little bit understanding. We'd already merged once on that one. This is just a kind of throwaway first bow. Make it whatever it can be, because we can use all the help we can get. Sort of deal. But now it's back to full life, a little more powerful, and a little more durable than it had been. So should be all around good. We can try to do the jump run here. Oh, you can see whenever it gets off it. Suddenly you go to that just vertical bouncing instead of the forward bounding. That's why we really got to expand this. Get it to where we can just cruise down this hallway. Oh, it's always good when that end gets to where you can see it wobbling like that. We're getting close. All right. So quick few levels here. Hopefully. Again, these bottom ones should go. Remember, the last time we let it fill and kind of went from level 50 to 51, right in the middle of each, in a reasonable amount of loading time. We do have our regular picks. How far do we get on our little Stay Entertained project over here? We can do a little more on that. And again, you should have 16 blocks in any direction from the spawner itself to keep it active. So we're getting to be a ways, but if you catch it out, there's from the zombies here 4 to this wall, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're only halfway when we get to this wall. We could go another full 8. We've gone 6, so you're getting close, but on that edge. Now, when we're all the way back at this corner, we may not be too good for the skeletons. They've got a little bit of an angle, but they're set back more, and so they should come back this way as well. I don't know. We didn't bother to mark out a perimeter or anything like that, but again, the spawner here is on this one, so you're only cutting over, and I guess that's the part I really don't know is how. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so we're about there. And then another bunch. So, when we're all the way out at the far end there, we're not right on top of this guy because that's 5, 9. So we only get the other 7. So when we get out this far, skeleton shut down. But when we come back into that corner, at that point, they're very good. And, so are these. This block here is 5 out on the diagonal. 6, 7. So you can go quite a ways on the 10 count, or 16 count there. Let's see if we can wait for one of the other. They need to make a mirror surface in Minecraft. All the stuff nobody's talking about. Where's the block that mirrors so you can see what's coming behind you? Alright, there you go, skellies. Good job. And there goes some zombies. That should be our sign to head down and see how many we've got. Oh, I should have put all that trash away. Oops. I'm expecting we need to reload it at least once more. Mr. Fancy Pants there. So one pair of magic pants we had there. Still actually kind of low on the arrows. Top ourselves off. Broken bits of bow. Did I have iron ore or anything over here? Did I clean all that good stuff out? I think I'll take the rails tracks back up. Okay, so everything else there is clean. Alright, well that got us up to level 17 from level 8. Not too bad. few more already fallen. Let's take a quick detour here to unload the rail. I really don't want to carry around. And let's be a bit proactive and actually make a few iron swords for down here as well, so we don't always have to worry about whether we've got them in our inventory or not. Cook those up, grab those back. A couple more torches. Well, actually, no, we don't need the, we can use the inventory instead. Alright, now let's get back and just hang out here and let some things fall. Check the time real quick while we're doing that. Not bad, only a dozen minutes since our last check, so we're just over halfway. Excuse the icy sound there, that's one of the drawbacks on the special limited edition early evening stream as opposed to early morning or midday stream. Coffee doesn't have ice in it if I'm drinking it. It's much more silent, but yesterday I kind of splurged for myself on my way home. I got some, I don't know, it's probably just garbage, but it was like the bottled lemonade, and I really try to limit sugars and stuff like that. I'm, getting older and trying not to do myself any unfavors. So usually my menu of drink items are coffee, which I typically drink hot and black. No creams, no sugars, nothing like that. Just regular old coffee. Tea, which about 85% of the time iced as opposed to warm. And water. That's about it. Occasionally I have beer or something like that, but those don't really fit into the rotation too much of the others. But those are about my drinks. And I decided, it was a hot day. I'd done the hike thing, and I'd played the disc golf early in the morning. I was like, I'm a little dehydrated anyway. Let's make a summertime drink classic. And so I got a jug of cheap lemonade that, way better. I should have just gotten some frozen concentrate or whatever and made my own, but it was an impulse anyway, and I was like, yeah, I want some of this. So, thing of lemonade, already had the tea made up at home. Arnold Palmer's all afternoon. So good. So I've got a big plastic cup still going of a little bit of, and I still try to make it very tea heavy. Because now, having not, sodas being out and not having done any kind of, Kool-Aids or anything like that, even lemonades taste so sweet to me now. And I used to make it as a kind of connoisseur, or not connoisseur, concession beverage way back in my old school days when I was doing roasted sweet corn at these carnivals and street fairs and festivals and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes there's this magic point. It's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't know exactly where that translates on the centigrade scale. Sorry, guys. But there's a point where when you've got outdoor gatherings like that, up to a point that temperature-wise, people will buy food. And then it just switches off. Nobody buys food. Yeah, maybe you sell a little bit of ice cream or something like that. But when you're doing the prepared food, the hot dog vendors, in our case, corn, burgers, sausages, pretzels, funnel cake, any of that kind of stuff, people aren't buying it if it's over 85-ish degrees. They just don't eat. And there's a trickle of people, and you got to be there. You got to do it. You've already usually paid a fee for your licensing for your vendor spot, or they're getting a cut of whatever you're doing. So if you're committing to have all your product there and be there and set up and all that, you got to do something. So it's the entrepreneurial spirit. You're selling hot roasted sweet corn, and it's going to be too hot for people to want to eat any hot food. You better have an alternate, and ours would be lemonade. We would sell post-mix soda too, But most places would. Depending on the event, sometimes you could, sometimes you couldn't. Sometimes they wanted to do that, or like the local community fundraising people or whatever would have a soda tent or a beverage tent or whatever. They'd want exclusive on that. So they're all different, but to have an option when it was too hot for people to really want food. Sorry, it's going to get a little loud. We would do fresh made lemonade and like legitimate lemons into like the pulper, the juicer, to put out a measured amount of lemon juice into a big old cup, and then just drown the sucker in sugar over ice. Fill with this spring water stuff that we had, and shake. Boom. Best lemonade you ever had. I mean that's the actual deal, right? Sugar, lemons, water over ice. So I know, but it just tastes so overpoweringly sweet now. So just a little bit of that. I used to make an Arnold Palmer. It would be 50-50 tea and lemonade. Now it's just like mostly a glass of tea with a little splash of lemonade in it. But still good. Always tastes like summer to me. One of my favorites. All right, guys. This is my problem. I don't. If we can be enchanting up here in the midst, now I don't think the enchanting table gives off any light. That would be a consideration. But we can set up right into this wall, still have our view out either side, but be occupied throughout all of it. And that was back at the main base tool chest. I didn't bring the second grindstone. We could have brought that out and been doing these pants at least. All right, let's go again. I mean, in theory, they're spawning for a couple of these ladder pushes, or still falling down the hole. Oh, that doesn't look quite as jammed up. Maybe it's just because they don't have as many fancy outfits on. Alright, let's do a bit of inventory. Because we can. And it's something to do. Get all those bows. I can clean those up. All these already have stacks. Oop. Oh, not too many. Alright, bones. Arrows. Fleshes. Who wants to be a bow? Yeah, that grindstone would have been pretty handy. See, now this is the problem, is that here you think, oh yeah, we're off to the races, but we're not doing anything to help ourselves while we do this. There's no other mobs coming down, unlike the whatchamacallit, darkroom spawner, where all this time we'd still be productive. So I guess there, all these. Oh, and we did have cobble in there, so extra cobble. Ooh, and what do we want to do with glow ink? We got all these. Might as well make an extra little spot. It'll come in and trickle the whole time. Alright, a few more slow bashes. And the other advantage we'll have once we're set back up is we can do the book enchants all the way down to low levels, and then just build ourselves back up to level 30 when we see a book or another enchant that we want. And of course, all this kind of gets a limited usability, because after we get done with village farmers, setting up our darkroom spawner for the creepers will be good, and we can set up the same thing there and have a little bit more of that they're spawning while we're doing the inventory. They all come down to the fact that you're still sitting around and waiting on things to fall. And one of our great commenters along the way has mentioned using the dogs down here, and that the dogs will actually bank XP for you, which is great. That's one of the drawbacks of typical AFK farms is you get the loot, but you don't get the XP. We want this as an XP farm, especially early, and doing the killing obviously pulls us downstairs from being up there where the mobs are spawning. And we've talked about it in the comments back and forth a little bit. You guys can all see those, but we have I certainly have talked to these kinds of thoughts before as well. I'm not opposed to AFKing. As I said, the dark room spawning farms are actually a huge help for me in the worlds that I used to make, before I started recording any of this kind of stuff. And there, like I said, I'd set them up and let them fill while I was, like grilling something, right? You go outside, you flip everything, you turn on the grill, you come back in, you do it, you let it run while you're out tending to the food and getting the kitchen ready and all that to eat, and all the way on up through dinner. You can be making progress with all that because it's just constantly running in the background. It's pretty efficient when it comes down to it. In this situation, it would allow us to just stay there and be more efficient, because all of this time that we're down here, they're not spawning upstairs. So we could just be standing at the top of the ladder. Oh man, we're not done yet. I was ready to go. Getting more and more mobs to fall down that the dogs would hit, and then at the end just come down and get all our XP. My only drawback with that is that when we're doing that, we're still just standing up here. Yeah, we maybe have less down and up time, but that's kind of the fun time for me. I mean, yeah, the swinging the sword is a little tedious, especially when you're using iron. And in that sense, yeah, it'd be nice to just have it all done when you go down there. But seeing the loot, what did you get, all that kind of stuff, and kind of it mixes it up. It keeps us fresh. We're not just sitting here talking the entire time. So those are kind of some of my thoughts. But for anyone else that may have seen the comments and been wondering, I'm absolutely not opposed to those kinds of ideas and machines and things like that. Just kind of my balance of what I've done in the past, my play style and all that. But I think it's wonderful. One of the big problems is we don't even have a pet dog yet, and I'm certainly not taking my very first dogs and putting them to work in a dark room in the basement. So we'll see what we get to eventually. But like I kind of have a feeling by the time we got to those levels of innovations, we'd be moving on through a couple other farms, and that goes back to a little bit of my mentality that kind of spent more time talking about back in World 2 and World 5. Just there's so much formula to efficiency these days in all the content that's out there. It's got to be bigger and faster and more productive. You just don't need quite all of that. And I'm a mix, right? Because I'm a hardcore player and I don't want to waste anything. I want to have plenty of everything because, if I need it, I've got to come up with it. But there's a lot of artificial demand that's created just by the scale of a lot of what's presented in YouTube and streams and all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, you got to have a storage system of 10,000 chests, and each chest has got to have 2 observers and a line of redstone going to it, and hoppers to go in between them all. And so then you need an iron farm just to get enough supplies to make all that kind of stuff. And in the end, you're doing it to make a storage system that will actually make your world more difficult to play and work in. And that's, where I go to my basement, just rows of chests and identifying what's in them with the item frames and samples. Just ultimately, in the long-term efficiency, it's way better. You can't do a whole lot better than just setting up some chests and knowing how you're going to use them and where you're going to put things. And, as long as they stay somewhat consistent game to game, world to world, you got no worries. You're all set. So, again, it is all very open to your personal playstyle and preferences. And the people I love to watch just happen to go a lot bigger than I do. And, I could easily be eating those words if I was so fortunate as to need to fill time on a daily basis with a live audience and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. All of a sudden, that's the formula. You want big, long-term projects because you want to keep people engaged and you want it to be a big deal when you get done. Hey, we just, completed this machine that we put in our hollowed out nether down to the base kind of stuff, or we dug a hole to bedrock to make a creeper farm or whatever. Any of those kind of things, they're big deal, and the audience rightfully feels engaged. If they've been there sharing in the jokes and the long days and all the trolls coming through, and all the shared memory of all that kind of stuff, they feel a part of it, as they should. And it is a reason to party and celebrate that you've all been a part of that. But it's designed to fill a lot of time in between there. It's like an old radio DJ. The songs fill all the time so that the DJ can get on in between and tell you the news and the weather, and here are our sponsors, right? Like that's the important 2 minutes in every hour are who are the people that are paying the bills, and are they feeling like they're getting well served? Is the music makes you stop tuning when you're driving along in your car, right? And I know this is dated now. Not many people listen to their radio music anymore. They're streaming something or already have a playlist. You don't need to listen to the bad songs, but it used to be. Oh, hang on a second. Excuse me. Used to be that the competition for ears in the cars, and you were basically locked in. Once cars had standard radios, and the radio stations had good enough signal that they didn't just sound like staticky garbage all over the place, you could expect that anybody in their car was listening. And cassettes and all that kind of stuff, yeah, that cut in. CDs, more and more and more, right? MP3s and everything else as it's gone along. But the radio's always been there, and the idea was that, yeah, if you're driving to work and stuck in traffic, and every day you want to use that time to not only um, hear some music or some jokes or whatever in the morning, but you also wanted to get that chance to hear the major news stories, catch up on the sports scores from the day before, or the entertainment news or whatever. So when you get to work, you and your coworkers can all have something to laugh and talk about. Um, you'll scroll through until you find something that catches your ear. And for the people paying for advertising, which is what is the business model, they want a voice in the personality, the DJ, um, or the music to be stuff that they think would appeal to a wide market and hold them, keep them tuned in until the next time that their product comes up as an ad. So it's the good ones are good ones when it comes to streaming or recorded content or anything else, because they know those lessons. They understand what success looks like and why it needs to be that to be sustained. So having stop having a sustainable content stream that they don't have to worry is going to have to be reinvented every couple days. That's money. So for those of us who just like to play the game, and that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to share a game that I enjoy playing with other people that enjoy playing it, or just want a hardcore stream they can follow along with. Maybe they don't have the time or the patience themselves to go through building up a world like this and potentially losing it or having to start over or anything like that. Hey, it's not for everybody. So you're welcome to follow along on this one. And maybe you're a builder. Maybe you like the creative mode and just having all the various blocks that Minecraft has to offer, the looks and the styles and the feels, and making wonderful art that way. That's more power to you. Glad to be in your ear while you're doing it. Maybe worth a sidelong glance on the TV every once in a while between your stuff. I know what I like to do with other folks is just have them kind of on in the background and glance over in a moment. Oh, what's going on over there? This is where the last time we checked was like a trip and a half ago up on the Skelly farm. I keep thinking like, all right, we're close. We're gonna punch through here. We won't be too over. How's our episode? Oh, we're so close. Oh, this could be a long one, guys. Sorry. Go. It's so tempting to just take a left and go over one and see how far we got. Yeah, no room for this coal. Alright, let's do it. Were we close? No. Oh, man. So far to go. All right. Well, it was at 59 minutes when I checked that time. So we'll run back here. We got to reset the inventory and all that anyway. But despite it being a super special evening edition, I think maybe I'll be back for one more here while we're rolling. The other thing, I don't recall what we did for our last thumbnail screenshot. Did we end up using the enchanting table? I hope so. I think that's what we set up. Man, I should have. I always think after the fact, like I should have screenshotted just while those uh, pillagers were around or something, but don't want to take too many chances with those guys. I think that was just a footstep. It sounded almost slimy for a second, though. Okay, let's. I don't know what of anything we can unload here. These maybe. It's getting to be a good blob of iron. We can deal with those in the next. Man, I just want a screenshot. What's a good one? We've already done that so many times. Since we have a respiration helmet. There, you guys. Oh no. These get so dark, it's kind of. Try to do a fish. Hopefully one of those turns out. Alright. Here we are. We'll sort out all that inventory, do all the disenchanting in the next one. But for now, and as usual, I want to thank you guys for all the wonderful support. You are all awesome, excellent viewers and people. And if you've enjoyed it all, I'd like to encourage you guys to hit that like button and drop a comment in the comment field if you are so inclined. Like I said, with the recommendation for the dogs, any kind of feedback things, it just makes me think about stuff, and it's fun to talk about when we do have downtime. So if you have any ideas, things that you like to try in your world that you think might work, hey, they might not. I might be ready to go or give them a try, or maybe something we just table for a while and see about getting back to. But I love the dogs idea, so thank you for putting that one in. Hope you all have a wonderful time. I know I'm going to come on back for another round. But whether you watch the next video right on the heels of this one or wait for it to come out, do consider taking a little break. Get up, move your legs a little bit, get your eyes and brain a break from the digital screens, and go see a little bit of that world outside. I hope you all take care, and we'll see you back here for the next one. Bye now.